All right, y'all, I did it. I completed the 30-day no alcohol detox, and I'm already basically on day 36. Haven't had any alcohol yet, and I just want to tell you my journey of my 30-day no alcohol detox. So the reason why I did it was because I just felt like I was, having a few drinks more than the moderate drinking. Because they say you're supposed to drink maybe 2 glasses of alcohol per day if you're a male, and women I think it's up to 1 glass of alcohol a day. So that's moderate drinking. Now, of course, most people probably could possibly drink 2 a day or whatever. But for me, there was a point before I decided to do this detox that I felt like I was drinking just a little bit more than the moderate drinker. So I was probably having 3 to 4 beers a day. Sometimes I might even splurge and have maybe 6 on a given Saturday or Sunday. And so I just figured maybe I needed a reset, like I'm not trying to quit alcohol in its entirety, but I just want a nice reset so that way it's not in my schedule every day. Because I feel like once you get into a routine of something, it just tends to just be there and you're always it's just part of your routine. And I felt like having a glass of wine, having a couple beers, having a beer for lunch with my lunch was just part of my daily routine because I just kept it up for so long. So a reset for me, I felt like would have been appropriate. The first week of my detox, I felt like was probably maybe the hardest. Well, the first 2 weeks actually. It was only hard because I just felt like it was the sugar cravings for me. Like I felt like I was trying to find a substitution for the alcohol. And then the second week is when I noticed that it was harder to sleep. Like I felt like I was staying up a lot longer than I normally would. So I just felt like I was just staying up later. And I think it might have been because with the alcohol, maybe I have 1 or 2, 7 p.m., 8 p.m. I'm ready to fall asleep, pass out by midnight. So I think that was probably the reason why I was probably just sleeping without worrying about staying up so late, was because I was probably passing out from booze. Who knows? Third week, the sugar cravings kind of lingered off a little bit, but because I was staying up late, I felt like the third week was a little harder still because I was, maybe craving just something to eat. Now I'm working out, I'm exercising, and I'm on a calorie deficit, so that's just normal. But because I'm not drinking, it's just like, it's in my face a little bit more, like, man, I could eat a snack or I can eat more or whatever. My anxiety levels probably started going down a little bit, probably the second week, because I feel like I was able to just wake up, be refreshed, there's no hangover, there's no guiltiness about what I did last night. I'm not waking up in the middle of the night all anxious and or whatever. So I felt like the alcohol probably increased my anxiety because I'm naturally very anxious quite a bit. So having no alcohol really lowered my I levels. And then the fourth week was a breeze. I think fourth week I had more of a social life too. I felt like I was challenged to go out a little bit more and actually be social and see how that worked. And it was hard. Day 33 was hard because we went to a housewarming party and we were there for like at least 8 hours. That was challenging, but I made it happen. I made it work. I just had a bunch of sparkling water. They also had water there. So I basically had my daily intake of water definitely within the few hours I was there. And I was the designated driver because we were out of town. So it's just kind of nice knowing like, yeah, have a good time and I will drive us home. That was nice. And then being able to make decisions that were good decisions, I felt like I've made a lot of those this week or this month as well. All right, let's jump into the pros and cons. Obviously, my blood pressure was probably one of the big changes for me because I have high blood pressure. So usually my blood pressure can range anywhere from 120 to like maybe 130 over maybe, let's say, 78 to like 84. So because I'm working on my blood pressure now as I've been seeing a doctor for the last couple years and I'm on medication. So all that's been helping. But I've noticed that it's dropped tremendously without drinking any alcohol. Plus I feel like I'm sleeping a little bit better. Exercise helps, and I'm working on my eating as well. So my blood pressure ranges from like 110 to like maybe 117 over, let's say, 72 to like 78. But yeah, that's, my blood pressure is amazing right now. I'm gonna also say, also sleep's been great. Like I mentioned, the second week I've noticed a difference in how well I slept through the night. I didn't wake up in the middle of the night a lot of the times, and when I wake up, I feel well rested. However, even though it was still hard for me to get to sleep, like some nights I'll get to bed at like 2 a.m. And then wake up at like 7, or sometimes like 6:30 to between 6:30 and 8. I'll wake up, so I'm still not getting as much sleep as I probably should. But when I wake up, I feel so refreshed. I wake up, there's no hangover, and I'm just ready to rock and roll and get the day going. And that brings me to my next pro, is being able to get a lot of work done throughout the day. Like I've been so productive like this whole month. It's crazy. I had a lot of things going on my plate that I was able to manage to get through because I had so much more time to get through a lot of stuff for clients, being able to produce content for myself. Because not only do I try to push out small content on this channel, but I also push out content on my other channels. So it's like I have so much more time to just push through so much work, especially this month, because this month was a very crucial month. I had so many big clients, and I was able to power through all those. Not stress-free, but anxiety at a very minimum, because I felt like, because I wasn't drinking, I wasn't waking up hungover, I wasn't waking up already anxious, so I felt like I had a kickstart on being productive because I didn't have anything holding me back. And then on top of that, this brings me to my next pro, which is I have way more time now that I'm not spending 2 hours at the bar or 2 hours at a restaurant drinking, that I can take advantage of these extra 2-3 hours that I have to either spend with my partner at night or to push through some extra content like what I'm doing right now. Even though this is in the morning, usually I do this stuff in the evening, but because I'm just so productive, I can plan out my whole day knowing like I can go ahead and knock out some content now, work on a client video in the next hour or two, come back to some content, do some editing, hop on a call, work on my planner, and then just push through some other extra stuff because I have so much more time now, because I'm not going out the happy hour, spending a lot of time there, and or having long lunches because I'm going out to eat lunch, plus I'm having a beer or two while I'm at lunch, which means I'm taking an hour and a half, 2 hour long lunch. So yeah, I'm being so productive because I have so much more time. Another thing I've noticed is that I'm losing a little bit of weight. Now, like I mentioned, the first couple of weeks was really hard because of the sugar, but I feel like, you know, I'm exercising and I'm not like drinking a lot or drinking at all this last 30 plus some days. So I'm not having these wasted calories in my system. Like I said, it was hard. I think I would have lost a little bit more weight if I wasn't eating ice cream every night or eating cookies. I didn't really mess around with the cookies too much, but, or just like eating late. Like sometimes I'll like go get like, sometimes I'll try to eat healthy, but a lot of times I will get these sugar cravings. Like randomly, the third week I was like in love with honey roasted almonds. Now almonds are good for you, but not the honey roasted ones, you know, because it has a lot of sugar. And so I was eating them and craving them. Like I'm just like, man, I want to go buy a can of honey roasted almonds, because I literally one night, 2 nights actually, would sit here and eat a whole little small can of these honey roasted almonds. That's how hungry and how much I was craving sugar. And every so often for lunch, I would go get like a smoothie, healthy smoothie, but it was still, you know, something that kind of gave me that sweet, I felt like it like satisfied my sweet cravings because I wasn't drinking alcohol. So I felt like for the whole month, I maybe lost 3-ish pounds. I didn't weigh myself at the start, but I do know like I look better, I feel better. Some of my clothes are fitting a lot better. So I felt like that is due to not only just exercising and trying to eat a little bit better, but also the fact that I'm like in a calorie deficit, and I know like alcohol tend to store fat because your liver is trying to get out of all the crazy alcohol stuff. So it's like your body's storing a lot of the stuff as fat because of the alcohol that you're intaking. That's why they really stress moderate drinking, because it's the more you drink, the harder it is to really burn off fat. And because of that, and the waste, and I'm not really drinking, I don't have a lot of wasted calories, so I'm losing weight because I feel like I can achieve my calorie deficit, if that makes sense. What else? I don't know, but I feel like I feel like my skin looks good on camera. Like when I look at the videos this past month and compare it to videos in the like from last month or the month before that, I feel like my skin just looks really good. So I'm really proud about that. I'm really proud of my skin details, and I've noticed that it just looks clearer. And I'm also drinking quite a bit of water too, so I'm staying hydrated, and I feel like I'm not drinking, because I hear a lot of times alcohol will kind of make your skin feel a little pale or whatever it is, but I feel like my eye color looks bright, my skin just feels good, it feels like I'm glowing. Someone even told me that I look like I'm glowing, which is interesting. I've already mentioned too that, you know, my anxiety levels are a little lower than usual, and I think that also comes with the alcohol. So for me, that's an awesome pro as well. I also feel like I'm just saving a lot more money. Now, I think when I was going out, I will probably, this is an estimate, but I think I was probably spending at least 200 or more a week just on going out and having dinners, lunches, and then while also including alcohol with that as well, maybe buying alcohol to bring home. At least a minimum $200, and that's a lot of money if you think about it. I probably can spend anywhere from $80 to maybe $125 a week now, because we are making food at home a little bit more. But when I do go out, instead of having a $40, $50 tab, I'm having like a $25 tab. Now let me be honest with you too. Like, salads, they ain't cheap, bruh. Like, I can go up the street and buy a salad for like almost damn $18. I've noticed I've been saving a lot of money, and I think because I'm not drinking a lot of alcohol, because sometimes an alcohol bill alone could be like 25, $30. And if I'm going out with the lady, that can be doubled. So saving a lot of money has been great. I've been able to put some money aside to just get things outside of just booze, you know, like, so that's been really nice. I feel like I've just had a clear mindset. Like, I know what's going on around me. Facing my fears, my insecurities, all the bad things and sometimes the good things too, like straight on. Like, there's no booze, like fading out some of the things I don't want to worry about. So I'm like attacking a lot of things head on in my relationships, with my friendships, work things. I just have like more of a clear mindset on like what it is that I want to do, how I want to handle my emotions. Yes, I do go to therapy. I go to therapy maybe once a month or twice a month sometimes. I've noticed that it's been very helpful, having a clear mindset, because now I can really dig down in to see what my personality is, because I've learned that I don't really have any hobbies outside of working all the time, and any hobby that I do have, I usually turn that into content. Like, I don't have anything out extracurricular that I do that doesn't really involve, like, you know, drinking beer or wine or whatever, because for the longest time I was featuring I had a bartender segment called Behind the Stick. I mean, I would go out, film bartenders making cocktails, so I'll drink the cocktails. I like trying different beers because I'm in sunny San Diego, beer capital. There's a brewery on just about around on every block you go to. So just being able to try different beers and all that, it's just part of the culture here in San Diego. You don't have to be part of that culture, but I just think that's what San Diego is kind of known for, is just having a wide range of different things, whether it's food, booze, lifestyle stuff, hiking, outdoor stuff. So there's a lot of stuff in here for people that might interest them, you know. So just having a clear mindset, I think, has been very, very nice this month. And because of that, I feel like I want to continue to not drink as much. Like, I want to be actually under moderate drinking. Like, I want to just drink on occasions. I just feel like I don't need to drink, because I learned that my social life can still be just as good if I wasn't drinking. Like, I've proven that this month. I've proven that I can go out and be around people drinking. I can still carry a conversation and host events. Like I host a bingo night every Monday here in town, and I can still be myself. I can be funny, I can be hyped, and I don't need alcohol to increase that. Social life is a pro and a con. Let's jump right on into our cons, because I think I kind of covered everything that were the good parts, the good results. So let's talk about some of the results. Oh, no hangovers too, by the way. Before I jump into cons, I want to say that's a huge result. It's just waking up with no hangovers. That's the greatest thing ever, because now when we don't have a hangover, you can jump right into your day right away, depending on how much sleep you get too. Like if you haven't got any rest and you're tired, it might be a little harder. But if you're well rested because you're sleeping great and you're getting your hours of sleep you need, you can wake up ready to rock and roll. Let's jump into the cons. One of the cons for me, again, I know I talked about it earlier, is sugar. I just crave sugar. I was craving milkshakes, I was craving ice cream, and I was just craving anything sweet. And then also a con would be I just stayed up late. Like even last night, 4th of July, I didn't get to bed till like maybe 2:33 in the morning, because I spent maybe 2 hours playing Madden 2022 because I got my season. I'm trying to get to the playoffs. So I was like, you know what? I got the house to myself too. I might as well just play some Madden. I ain't gonna go to bed yet. I'm not tired. And then also I think another con would be, again, social life. Like there's some moments where you just kind of want to be just done with the day after like you're surrounded by people who are drinking all day, every day, you know. I work a lot, so all my friends don't really invite me out anymore, because I'm usually will probably tell them, if you're not up the street and I'm not working on content, or I'm not working on client videos or whatever it is, or any type of project, then more than likely I'm probably not gonna be able to make it. And that sucks, because that's a whole nother topic, but I need to work on my friendships, being in the present with friends and family. That's one thing I definitely need to work on a little bit better, because there's more to life than work and content creating. I understand we all got to make a living. I understand that we all have to make money. But at the end of the day, too, we're all human. We all need things outside of work and outside of content creating. And I think having human relationships is sometimes a must. A lot of people like being alone, but for me, I like a combination of being alone and a combination of being around people that I do genuinely care about. So I don't want to miss that opportunity to be social and be around people. And I'm not going to let a night of people who want to hang out with me that are going to be drinking to be the reason why I don't go out and hang out with them. Like I said, I don't need alcohol to be social. Alcohol for me at the time it's just part of my routine. Like I like trying different beers, like trying different IPAs, I like trying different wines. I was trying to collect the Lysol liquor spirit bottle collection here with scotches and different types of whiskeys, which I'm working on. But like I said, I'm 38 years old. Like if I was 20, it'd be different. If I was 20, it'd be like, I want to get drunk. I want to go out and meet people. I want to meet some ladies and, get down, get loose with some alcohol. I'm drinking like Bud Lights and stuff. 20s were like Bud Lights, Now it's kind of like, oh, I heard that, let me go try, let's go see what Society got. Or let's run over to Modern Times and get a beer there. Or let's head down to Ballast Point or Rip Current, North Park Brewing, Hess, whatever. There's so many of them here. And then another thing too, I think, is just adjusting to the lifestyle of no drinking. Like figuring out like, what are my hobbies? I play guitar, but I don't really have time to really pick up the guitar. Well, I do now. I don't really have time to pick up the guitar and play it or whatever. I can make time, but I do like to play The Sims, or I like to play a game here and there, but I don't want to put too much time into just casual video gaming if I'm not creating content around it. And so sometimes I will play The Sims. I do have this scrapbook thing that I can probably start and just work on, because that'd be kind of a fun project. It's just I'm almost 16 hours just working nonstop, and it's been like that for the last three months, it feels like, because I have such a clear mindset. I think I might invest more time to really figure out like, what are my hobbies, and what can I do outside of the things that maybe me and my girlfriend do, but like, what are some other things that I can do that doesn't really have to be like going out to have drinks or or whatever. Maybe finding a new show and binge watching TV or whatever. I just gotta find things that don't require me to really work or create content per se. Now I love being creative, but there's ways to be creative without feeling like you have to show the world. Like maybe picking up the guitar again, or maybe joining a Vavi team, and picking up a sport where I can kind of be competitive or have fun with it. Maybe join a running club. I would love to get back into running again. So maybe that it could be something that I could do that would be fun. Like, just trying to find something that I could enjoy casually without worrying about content creating. So that's been hard for me this month because I just felt like, man, I don't do anything fun. I don't do anything that I get excited for. And I think I don't get a lot of dopamine anymore because I'm not going out with that beer where it's like you drink that beer, like, long day drinking a beer, or I'm sitting down watching my favorite show with my favorite glass of wine. I'm not getting that dopamine hit. So that's been really hard because I'd learned that I have a calendar that shows like the days. So I do get dopamine hits from marking off the day that I had no alcohol. That's a dopamine hit that I get every day, which is very nice. Social media stuff, like if I post a great video and the audience seems to engage with it, that's a dopamine hit. But I don't want to rely on that type of dopamine hit where it's like a beer is going to make me feel good, or a couple likes on a video is going to make me feel good. I want a dopamine hit for me is I want to be able to wake up in the morning and have a dopamine hit because I woke up. That's what I want to work on. I want to work on just appreciating and enjoying life to the fullest, because that should be my dopamine hit should be waking up in the morning, checking my blood pressure, and it's normal. Waking up in the morning knowing like I have another day to live life and enjoy it. A dopamine hit could be, just looking at my girlfriend that's a dopamine hit. That's a dopamine hit. Just looking at admiring my girlfriend's beauty is a dopamine hit from time to time when I'm not super stressed and stuff like that. So, but I just need to find ways to really be excited. Like, I'll be honest, like I'm not depressed or whatever, but this last month has just been so indulged into work, content creating, servicing other people, doing things for other people for the last 3 months, to be honest with you, to the point where it's like I haven't had any like me time, like do something for me for once, So I felt like I've just been on go for 3 months, servicing clients, servicing content, servicing everybody around me, but I haven't had time to like, what is it that I want to do, And because I'm not drinking alcohol, it was even harder, and I'm still learning to figure out how I can find things that I would enjoy to do, whether it's just going to the movies here and there, or maybe it's going to a show now that, shows or concerts is a thing now, So I'm just trying to figure out like, what is it that I can do that would be fun, that gives me dopamine hits from time to time, that's not unhealthy or bad for me, because sometimes too much dopamine for a lot of things that we like to do could be bad, So I just want to make sure that I find things that I can enjoy still doing, So yeah, I think that's pretty much the gist of the results, So would I do another 30-day alcohol, no detox, or a challenge or whatever? Absolutely. Now, would I consider myself quitting alcohol in its entirety? I don't know. Like, probably not. Now, I'm so addicted to the feeling that I'm getting with being productive. I feel like I'm on the journey or the path to finding success a little faster than I would have been. I love waking up just ready to rock and roll and not feeling sluggish. So I feel like all the perks and the good positive results is making me like question how frequent would I drink. Now I'm still drink, but it won't be as daily as it was or has been, because like I said, I'm really addicted to waking up, ready to rock and roll. And I've noticed even if I drink these 2 beers, sometimes I still feel that sluggish, I feel that headache, and then I'm scared. I'm 38, so I'm scared, like, oh my God, like what's going on with my body? Like I'm getting old and I'm starting to feel weird and weak. So I've been good. I've been strong. I've been working out, and I just feel like my workouts have been even better. So I just think overall, yeah, I might implement it, but it might be for occasions, like when I feel like it. Maybe milestones, like once I hit my 100K on TikTok with my Nardvillian stuff, Sims 4 content channel, I might celebrate with maybe a glass of wine or that beer that I wanted to try, or something like that. That'll be like my splurge moment. Just, again, I guess, like I said, we're resorting to the idea of celebrating with alcohol. So it's full circle with all the stuff that keeps us driven to alcohol. Like honestly, like I could just do something different. Like maybe I'll treat myself to some ice cream that night if I hit my 100K following, or maybe I'll go buy that expensive drink, or not drink, but that expensive meal, or go treat myself to something fancy, or shoot, even do a staycation, because that's huge. Like doing, that's a huge milestone. So instead of investing money on booze and alcohol, maybe invest money into myself that I could benefit for getting the 100,000 followers, 100K followers or whatever. So, so overall, I would say with this experience, I would say that I definitely drank like quite a bit of water. I drank a lot of water, sparkling waters. I drank some non-alcoholic beers to kind of make it feel like I'm drinking beer, getting that hoppy taste. Because there's so many non-alcoholic beers out there that are very low in sugar and very low in calorie, that you can kind of substitute for alcohol if it's kind of like you kind of want to just have something with your friends, or if you just like that feeling that I can still be at home and still have a productive day without any alcohol in my system. That could work for you. I did that. I've noticed the sugar cravings the sugar cravings will come and go. That I think that's normal. So I'm thinking about doing a no alcohol. So I'm thinking about doing like a no sugar. So I'm thinking about doing like no sugar one day. We'll see how that goes. Maybe do like a no added sugar detox for 30 days. And that's something y'all want to see me do, because I have such a small following, and this is really not a niche channel. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing challenges or whatever. This is just going to be a channel that I will post like maybe lifestyle stuff, maybe some film stuff here and there, maybe some video editing tips, and then just stuff that I'm doing in my everyday life. Maybe I'll start talking about just different little things that's getting me going and how I'm better in my life, So, so that's what I've been thinking about too. Let's see. I would also say, just random honey. I've noticed that I was having random sugar cravings for certain types of food. Also during the 30 days, I've noticed that social life was interesting. I was aware of my surroundings, and I was aware of what was going on. So I was able to make good decisions. I think better decisions, because I didn't have any alcohol influence in my decisions. Like I said, I think the hardest day for me was probably the day, this was after the 30 days, was the day that I decided we went to our little housewarming party, and we were just there a little longer. So I just had to be around it a little longer, and I didn't have an escape, So, but it was fun. I still had a great time, and I just woke, and then when I woke up the next day, hangover free, it was worth it. And then, yeah, then other than just staying up later but sleeping better, I would also say seeing the blood pressure was going low was nice. I think my doctors are going to be super happy to hear that when I talk to them at the end of this week. But yeah, I think, like I said, I'm going to keep it going, and let me know what you guys are doing. Like, are you doing a detox? Do you even drink? Have you thought about doing it? Have you done it in the past? And like, what were your results? And what are your results from just going sober? Like for the rest of your life, or for a long extended period of time? Like how have the results and benefits been for you? I'm very curious to know like how everybody's like social life's been, and how everybody like adapted to different lifestyle changes, and have you found your hobbies outside of drinking alcohol? Because that's where I'm at with my journey right now, just trying to figure out what are some other things that I can do that doesn't really require me to work or create content. I just want just one or two hobbies that's more on a healthier side. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. And if you feel like subscribing to me, like I said, I don't know what else I'm going to post on this channel about. I might just post lifestyle stuff, hacks, things that I'm going through. And if you're interested in that and you just like my vibes, then hit me up. Talk to you later. Peace.